Right, it's final that time. The AFL Grand Final is here. Brisbane v Geelong. The two best sides of the year facing off this Saturday. Sure to be a blockbuster. Let's talk about it. Well, everyone. It's final that time of year. Grand Final day. One of the best days of the year. Looks like we've got a cracker on our hands. Two best sides for the year, realistically, coming head to head. The Geelong Cats playing the Brisbane Lions. The question is, will it be like their last encounter where the Geelong Cats were pretty dominant and handled the Lions pretty easily? Question is, yeah, they're pretty strong favourites in the bookies' eyes, almost $1 favourite, which is quite a big, when there's two sides that are supposedly the best of the year, that's quite a big margin. Let's have a look. Lineups. So Reece Stanley comes in for Tom Stewart, was out with concussion. So that was the rumoured change that was talked about all week. They were thinking maybe a Jed Hughes for a like for Tom Stewart, but no, they obviously bringing a ruckman and going to fold someone back. Probably Blitzstars playing a little bit more back / midfield time. Second ruck. Reece Stanley trying to help out in the gate. Brisbane's two big ruckman and McInerney and Fort trying to nullify that side of the game, which I understand from Chris Scott's point of view. Now that's where it gets interesting with Brisbane bringing in Lachie Neale for Jared Berry. Obviously, Jared Berry's done his shoulder again, and he wasn't going to get right for this game. But yeah, Lachie Neale, that's it's a big question mark. Yeah, how much of the game does he play? I find it doubtful that he'll be able to run out the whole match because he's not much of a player outside of the inside mid, especially with running capacity down. So he'll have to play inside mid, and that requires a lot of physical demand and a lot out of you, a lot of banging, especially with Geelong's midfield. And Geelong's midfield does like to run, so that could be quite it's a very risky manoeuvre. I don't think it's gonna work out. Personally, I wouldn't have brought Lachie Neale in. Just don't think he's up to it. And Geelong like to run, spread the ground, especially through their midfield. Their midfield are full of good runners, so I think they might come back to bite the Lions. Let's look at these recent counters because obviously the big talking point was the 38-point defeat that the Lions suffered last time they met very recently. Which I guess you could make a case for being the most important of the recent encounters, but yeah, it was, even though it's 38 points, it's probably like closer to 40 to 50 with some controversial calls going Brisbane's way, which did swing the score a little bit in their favour. So I think a lot of people tip them the 60-point plus win for Geelong again. I don't know if it's going to be like that. I think it might be a bit closer. Then you got the game earlier in the year for Dangerous 350th where the Lions came to Geelong and did a number on them. But then again, if you look at the scoring shots, they can kind of tell a different story as well. 6 goals, 15, a bit wasteful there, Geelong. So that was a bit more even of a game than the 41-point margin indicates. In the last game before that, earlier in the year in Brisbane, the Lions got up there again. So Lions do have pretty good form against the Cats, except for that drubbing they caught in the qualifying final. So that's like, you might have to go off the most recent matchup. So I'd say the form guide's going to be pretty even, isn't it? There, the only loss Brisbane have had recently was that emphatic loss to the Cats last time, and Geelong has been on fine form. They had a few easy opponents coming into the finals, but they've just been stellar since then. So you'd have to give the edge to the Cats. Anything stats-wise that Brisbane could take advantage of? Not really. They kind of possess the ball a little bit more than Geelong, but Geelong are very efficiently getting the ball out and getting inside 50s from it, so you can't speak of Brisbane's midfield being too dominant. I mean, that's a key factor for the Cats. Their tackle pressure is very strong compared to the Lions. As you see, Lions do like to possess the ball a bit more. I don't know if they'll be able to with Geelong's fierce intensity. Yeah, all the other stats are pretty even. Like, you can't really. Lions turn the ball over a bit more. They play that a bit more aggressive inside corridor game, which does lead to turnovers. Any interesting things being talked about in the preview? Talking about the Cats forward line being in fine form at the moment, which does make sense. Brisbane's backs will have to be out there at the very best. I mean, having Jack Payne would help them, but he's obviously been out for quite a while. Oh, the AFL website's picked Geelong to win by 3 points. That's interesting. If it's a close game like that, I'd pick Brisbane to win it. Let's look at the full lineups though. Hunter O'Sullivan, Sam DeConing, Jack Henry, Mark O'Connor, Zach Guthrie. Zach Guthrie playing listed at centre half back. That's interesting. I mean, he plays bigger than he is. He's like not small, but like that's a bit of a. I guess Brisbane forwards aren't the big hulking types, so it's interesting. Lost Humphreys on the other half back. Brian Myers, Max Holmes, Ollie Dempsey. So the two wingers, they're dangerous. So if they can get a top possession there, those two wingers could have a big say. Like Brian Myers and Oliver Dempsey could win. Ollie Dempsey could win the Norm Smith actually if they get on top. And the half forwards, Brad Close, Tyson Single, Sean Manor. Interesting. They've listed Sean Manor. It doesn't really matter though. They can switch around. Yeah, Patrick Dangerfield's listed to start in the forward line. He'll probably get swung in the middle over the last couple of weeks. That's what he's been doing. He's been put in the middle to maximise his input, especially early in games. Stanley Smith and Atkins in the middle. Mark Blicavs starting on the bench. Yeah, he's going to chop and change. Yeah, I think Mark Blicavs is always integral to Geelong's success, so he'll be the Mr. Fix-It. I don't think he'll play forward very much, but yeah, through the midfield and through the back line, he'll be very important. Brisbane, they listed Lachie Neale to start? Probably. Seem a bit desperate doing that. Lachie Neale listed in the centre to start. Interesting. Zorko, Gardner, Lester, Wilmot, Andrews, Starcevic. The back line is very solid, Brisbane, so if they can be at their very best, denying any marking opportunities to Geelong, they'll go a long way for them to winning. Hugh McCollough, Levi Ashcroft playing on the wings, Lachie Neale in the centre, they're going for it, so we'll see how long Lachie Neale's last. Hopefully it's not a Penalty situation, only 4 minutes. Hopefully it can last at least 3 quarters. That'll help Brisbane immensely. Hopefully a couple of goals in front of that stage if he has to go out. Also half forward, Charlie Cameron and Zach Bailey and Ty Gallop. Very important, the half forward line, I think. Yeah, Ty Gallop will need to stand strong and take some contested marks to battle out, which I think the Brisbane Lions will be under a lot of pressure, especially early on. The defence will be under pressure, so Ty Gallop taking contested marks up the ground will be very important for what they want to do. And Zach Bailey and Charlie Cameron. Zach Bailey more on the offensive side, like goal assists and scoring himself. He'll be very important. Charlie Cameron, he's been a bit out of form with the offensive side, but the defensive pressure is what they'll need from him. And the full forward line's a bit of an interesting one. Kawachi and Cameron are both mid-size, more marking types than on the ground. Kawachi's not a bad on the ground player. Same with Cameron, but they're more of the marking type. And Logan Morris hopefully has a big game out so the Brisbane Lions can win. Interesting how they've listed Jasper Fletcher on the bench. I'd be interested to see if they play him along a wing. He's a bit of a jet. I wonder if they play him any time through the midfield. Like, he lets on a wing, he can run. He's a good ball user, good decision maker. So I'd like to see him up on the wing for a little bit of the game at least. Yeah, Kyle Lohman, Sam Marshall, Bruce Seville, and Oscar McInerney on the bench. So they've kept Sam Marshall in, which is good. He's been playing well. So hopefully the young fella can stand up. It's interesting, yeah, looking at the team lineups. Now I'm going to make a prediction. I'm always a little bit biased with my selections. Like, if I want to go purely analytically, it'd probably be safer bet to pick Geelong. It's given like everything that they've run in. They've had a softer, easier run in, less banged up. All their star players are like hitting form at the right time. They're pretty much full strength, which bodes well for them. On the flip side, Brisbane are missing quite a good bit of experience throughout the team. A lot of quality, having to play a couple of younger players. I mean, they're not without a chance to win. Logically, I should say Geelong to win by 28 points, but yeah, I'm going to be a numpty and say for my enjoyment factor, I have to say Brisbane Lions to win by 14 points. I don't know, a lot of people saying under 10 points. I don't say it's going to be like at least, see the margin between 2 to 7 goals. 2 to 6, yeah, 6 or 7. So that's like 12 to 40 points. I don't think the Brisbane Lions can win by 40 points, so it's a 40-point margin to be the Geelong Cats' way. Yeah, people saying within one kick. I don't know about that. I think that's a bit of a tough sell. But hopefully it's a good game anyway, like back and forth, high intensity. What a grand final should be realistically. Hoping for one of the all-time epics, you know. When's the last time we had a good grand final? Well, 2023 actually, funnily enough. The last two have been fizzes. Like, I mean, the two either side of that. Like last year, Brisbane Lions were just dominating Sydney, and Sydney obviously getting dominated by Geelong. So, what was 21 like? Do I remember 21? We won in 2021. Dude, I've got a blank. I literally cannot remember. Must have been Richmond, right? Right? 2020 was Richmond, definitely. 2019 was Richmond against GWS. 2020 was Richmond against Geelong. 2021 it's Melbourne Demons. I was like, why is that like blank from my head? Because I was thinking about the MCG, and then yeah, it was played in Perth. Yeah, the Demons beat the Bulldogs. So yeah, thinking about most of the recent grand finals, they've actually been kind of one-sided and a little bit dull, actually. Yeah. What do you think about the last 10? 2015, Eagles got smashed by the Hawks. Very devastating game for me. Yeah. After the first quarter, I was outside kicking the footy myself, thinking, what's gone wrong in my life? Pretty devastated. Young 23-year-old lad. 22, sorry. 2016. Fairly good game. The Bulldogs won against Sydney. They kind of kicked away third quarter / fourth quarter, so it was a decent game, close for a bit of it, but yeah, Bulldogs did win pretty comfortably in the end. 2017, Adelaide were in it for like a half-ish, and then Richmond blew them out of the water, kind of a dull affair. 2018, absolutely epic. I was actually at work watching it, so that was an interesting thing. I just finished up as the game was finishing, so I was out the back screaming my head off at work. So that was cool. Almost ran on the street, bloody took my clothes off. 19, as I said, yeah, 19, 20, 21 were all kind of one-sided affairs. 22 again, yeah. So 2018 and 23 were the only like real epics recently, so hopefully you get one of those kind of games for our sakes. Anyway, that's enough of me ranting on about footy, and you know, it's been a great year. As much of the controversies and like a lot of the AFL's decisions as they keep making, got to kind of worry about where the game's going to be in the future. But you know what, footy's still great, and it's still a pleasure to watch for the most part. And I'm really excited to watch this Saturday. Took the day off work and everything, so I'm keen on it. Come on, Brisbane Lions. Do it for us. Anyway, catch you. I don't know. I'm just about to say I'll catch you on the next video, but that's the last AFL video. I guess I should start making videos about the trade period and other facets of the AFL landscape and even NBA. The NBA season's kicking off. That's kind of my bread and butter's been NBA and AFL. So yeah, there'll be NBA content coming, I guess, soon enough. And then yeah, trade period's going to be a hot one, so I'll probably get into that. But can't wait for Saturday afternoon. Let's enjoy it, guys. See ya.